Teacher Person, good morning.
Good morning, Advocate. Good morning to everyone. Yes.
We do have a quorum.
Okay, let me just get some volume here in my iPad. Thank you. Since we are correcting, good morning to all the members.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, Deputy Chair.
Good morning, Chief Whip. Good morning, everyone. I think since we have a quorum, we can start with the meeting. And let us observe a moment of silence shortly for prayer or meditation. And can we, in the meantime, get the agenda posted? Thank you very much. I think we can then just welcome everyone to the meeting. And I think for the new quarter, it is our first programming meeting. And I'm sure that we won't take a lot of time, since I take it that the WIPRI have sat down with the program in preparation for our meeting. Advocate, can we then get the apologies, please?
Thank you very much, Acting Chair. We have the apology of Chairperson as well as the House Chairperson, Nyambi.
I saw the House Chairperson was logged on, so it seems it's just the Chairperson that we are having an apology for. I saw Honorable Nyambi was logged on today.
Okay.
Thanks, Deputy Chair. I'm part of the meeting.
Thank you very much. Now I saw that you were logged on because I was struggling with the renaming of my gadget. So I saw the names there. Thank you. And so if it is for what it is worth, the WIP of the Northern Cape is still on the flight on our way to Cape Town. I know it, we are not allowed verbal apologies, but I'm just mentioning it for what it's worth. So can we get back to the agenda?
I was having to that apology, but thank you, Deputy Chair.
No, she just called me when she was boarding.
All right.
No, thank you. So we are at the consideration of the agenda. Any additions or subtractions, or anyone that want to propose for the agenda to be adopted?
I move for adoption, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dangor. And good morning once again. Is there a seconder?
Chairperson.
The first voice that I heard was of a woman. Who is it?
Bibi.
Can you second again?
Chairperson. Bibi seconds, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma Bibi. And the agenda is duly adopted. Can we continue? Can the minutes be flighted? Can we have them? Okay, so I take it the minutes. We should take the minutes as read because it is not flighted. Honorable members, should we accept that you have read the minutes? What's happening? Can we? I don't see the minutes now on the screen. Thank you. I usually take it that there is no spelling or grammar errors, and we will not go into that. Can we immediately go into the content? And can we hear whether the minute is a true reflection of what transpired before.
Yes, Chairperson, it is a through reflection. PP moves for the adoption of the minutes.
The minutes as then proposed for adoption by Honorable PP. Can we have a seconder?
Nkosi seconds, Honorable Deputy Chair.
Thank you very much, Mpumalanga. We will now go back to the agenda. So the next point on the agenda is the matters arising. Over to you, Advocate.
Thank you very much, Acting Chair, and good morning, honorable members and colleagues. We have distributed the implementation schedule. On the 7th of September, we had questions to the Deputy President as well as consideration of committee reports, followed by the provincial week from the 11th to the 14th of September. From the 19th to the 22nd of September, we had a week-party working visit to the Deutsche Bundestag in Germany. Then on the 26th of September, we had a sitting where we considered Performance Protection Amendment Bill, Copyright Amendment Bill, as well as the debate on tourism. It was followed by the constituency period from the 2nd to the 9th of October, which was also during the CPA International Conference. On the 10th of October, we had questions to Cluster 2C. On the 11th of October, we had questions to Cluster 2D. Then today, we will have questions to the President. Thank you very much, Acting Chair.
Thank you very much, Advocate. Honorable members, there is the issues for implementation. Is there any other matters arising? Because if you go through the minutes, besides the implementation metrics, there are other issues that have been raised. Like, for instance, the issue, I know we will be dealing with bills before Parliament and the legislation, but I want us to bear in mind the issue of the fact that it is almost, we are nearing the end of the term, and some of the issues needs clarity. Maybe we will be clarified as we are continuing, but that is the implementation matrix. It's just that we, in the former meeting, we didn't discuss the BRICS Parliamentary Forum. But I think it is something worth mentioning that it was implemented successfully, according to my own assessment. I don't know, is there anyone that have a different view as to say that, although it is not something that is coming out of our minutes, but it's something that was implemented successfully by Parliament, and as part of Parliament, I think we can actually mention it, that there was this in terms of the implementation metrics. I don't know, is there anyone that want to say anything regarding that specific issue? If none, we will continue. And according to the to the agenda, the next point on agenda is the issue of the draft parliamentary program. Can we then have the draft parliamentary program? Whoever is going to present it, Advocate.
Thank you very much, Acting Chair. The program is before the programming committee. I shall start with the week commencing the 9th to the 13th of October. Yesterday we had the provincial whips meeting, as well as the sitting dealing with questions to Cluster 2D, social services, water and sanitation. It was also the deadline for submission of questions to the Deputy President scheduled for 26 October 2023. I shall also be highlighting the programs of committees, particularly insofar as consideration of legislation is concerned. We also have on the other side, we had the Select Committee on Appropriations to consider its program for the medium-term budget policy statement. And we also had the meeting of the Select Committee on Transport to consider expropriation bill. The Committee on Security and Justice also met to consider prevention and combating of hate crimes and hate speech bill. Then today we're having the program committee meeting. We'll have party caucuses. Then in the afternoon we'll have questions to the president. The committees will also be meeting on the other side. Then on the 13th of October, it would be the joint committees, but we also have the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance that will be meeting to consider the Housing Consumer Protection Bill. Just a minute, Deputy Chair. I don't know what's happening to my document.
I see the program on the screen. Maybe you may continue whilst you are struggling with yours.
I'll continue in a minute. Then we will proceed to the week commencing the 16th to the 20th of October. We will on the 17th have a sitting to consider, among others, the motions, legislation reports, as well as the debate on International Rural Women's Day 2023. We will also have a committees meeting. Then on the 18th of October, that would be the deadline for submission of questions to Cluster 1B, Peace and Security. We will have the Select Committee on Security and Justice to sit in to consider Judicial Matters Amendment Bill, as well as the briefing on Correctional Services Amendment Bill and deliberation on prevention and combating of hate crimes and hate speech bill. We will also have the Select Committee on Transport that will be meeting to consider Transport Appeal Tribunal Amendment Bill, as well as the Marine Pollution Amendment Bill. Then on the 19th of October, we'll have party caucuses. The 20th of October would be the deadline for submission of questions to Cluster 1C, Peace and Security, scheduled for 7th of November 2023. Then the week commencing 23 to 27th of October, we will have a sitting. There will be motions, there will be consideration of reports, and there will be a debate on Transport Month. We will also have committees meeting on the other side, and in particular, we'll have the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs meeting to consider Housing Consumer Protection Bill, as well as the briefing on interventions in municipalities in terms of Section 139 of the Constitution. We will also have the Select Committee on Health and Social Services meeting to consider National Health Insurance Bill. We will also have, on the 25th of October, we'll have the provincial whips meeting. We will also have on the other side the Select Committee on Transport and Public Services meeting to consider the responses to the expropriation bill. We will have the Committee on Security and Justice also to deal with the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill, as well as the briefing on Correctional Services Amendment Bill, as well as the deliberation on prevention and combating of hate crimes and hate speech bill. On the 26th of October, we'll have a sitting. We'll start with programming in the morning, followed by party caucuses, and then the sitting questions to the Deputy President. and committees will also be meeting. The Joint Standing Committee on Defense will also be meeting. And on the 27th, it would be the joint committees, but we will also have the Select Committee on Health and Social Services to consider the negotiating mandates on National Health Insurance Bill. Then the week commencing the 30th to the 3rd of November, 30th of October to the 3rd of November. On the 31st of October, we will have a sitting, questions to Cluster 1A, Peace and Security. It would be Police, Justice and Correctional Services. We will also have committees meeting on the other side, and in particular the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs to consider the Housing Protection, Consumer Protection Bill. Then on the 1st of November, on the part of the National Assembly would be the introduction of medium-term budget policy statement, and it would be the day for the lockup session for the committees on appropriation and finance. Then we will also have the Select Committee on Security and Justice meeting to consider prevention and combating of hate crimes and hate speech bill, as well as to consider a report on the amendment to the practical guidelines for employees submitted in terms of Section 10, subsection 4B of the Protected Disclosures Act of 2000. And then we will proceed to the 1st of November. Proceed to the 2nd of November. We will have a sitting that would be questions to Cluster 1B, Peace and Security, Minister in the Presidency, and Defense and Military Veterans. We will proceed to the 3rd of November. It would be joint committees, and then on the other side we have the Joint Committee on Defense as well as the Joint Standing Committee on Financial Management of Parliament. Then the week commencing the 6th to the 11th of November. On the 7th of November, we'll have questions to Cluster 1C, Peace and Security, International Relations and Cooperation, as well as Home Affairs. We will have the Select Committees on Appropriations and Finance to continue with the consideration of the fiscal framework. We will also have the Select Committee on Health to deal with, to continue with the consideration of National Health Insurance Bill. We will also have the Select Committee on Land Reform to consider the final mandates on Agricultural Products Standards Amendment Bill and National Field and Forest Fire Amendment Bill. We'll also have the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance to continue its deliberations on Housing Consumer Protection Bill, as well as, if possible, the adoption of the committee report on that particular bill. Then on the 8th of November, we'll have the provincial whips meeting. On the other side, insofar as committees are concerned, we will have the Select Committee on Finance continuing with the consideration of fiscal framework. Apologies, we'll have the Select Committee on Transport to consider the negotiating mandates on Economic Regulation of Transport Bill, National Road Transport Amendment Bill, and National Land Transport Amendment Bill. We will also have the Select Committee on Security and Justice to continue with its consideration of Correctional Services Amendment Bill, as well as the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill. Then on the 9th of November, we'll have the Programming Committee, followed by party caucuses, followed by the sitting, and in particular to consider the Prevention and Combating of Hate Crimes and Hate Speech Bill, as well as the Housing Consumer Protection Bill. We will also have the debate on measures to combat protection fee syndicates and business extortion. On the 10th of November, it would be the joint committees. We will then proceed to the week commencing the 13th to the 17th of November. On the 14th of November, we'll have a sitting to consider the report of the Select Committee on Finance on the revised fiscal framework and revenue proposals. We'll also have, if there is any legislation which will have been finalized, we'll consider legislation that will be followed by the debate on 2023 Africa Industrialization Day. The Select Committee on Appropriations will consider the negotiating mandates on Division of Revenue Amendment Bill. Then on the 15th of November, we will have the Select Committee on Transport to consider negotiating mandates on expropriation bill. Then on the 16th of November, we will have a sitting. The sitting, if there is any legislation, we'll consider legislation. If there are any committee reports, we'll consider the committee reports, as well as the debate sponsored by a party. Then on the other side, insofar as committees are concerned, we will have the briefing by National Treasury, the Select Committee on Appropriations, to be briefed by Treasury on Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, Adjustment Appropriation, as well as Adjustment Appropriation Bill. Then on the 17th of November, the Select Committee on Appropriations will be briefed by Organized Local Government on the revenue, on the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill. It will also have public hearings on the same bill. We will then proceed, acting chair, to the week commencing 20th to the 24th of November. On the 21st of November, we'll have a provincial week report back session. Then on the other side, we will have the Committee on Finance briefing by National Treasury on 2023 draft rates and monetary amounts and amendment of revenue laws bill, draft taxation laws amendment bill, as well as tax administration laws bill. We will then have on the 22nd of November, the provincial whips meeting, as well as a sitting at 1400 hours. The sitting will deal with the motions. If there's any legislation, then of course we will consider the National Health Insurance Bill, Agricultural Product Standards Amendment Bill, National Forest and National Field and Forest Fire Amendment Bill, as well as then the debate on the provincial week. On the other side, insofar as the committees are concerned, the Select Committee on Transport will deal with the final mandates on the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill, National Land Transport Amendment Bill, as well as Economic Regulation of Transport Bill. We will also have the Select Committee on Security and Justice to consider and adopt the Correctional Services Amendment Bill, as well as Judicial Matters Amendment Bill. Then on the 23rd of November, we'll have the Program Committee meeting. If possible, we will also have the Joint Program Committee meeting, followed by party caucuses. Then in the afternoon, we will have a sitting, motions, as well as party-sponsored debate. We will then proceed to the week commencing the 27th of November to the 1st of December. On the 27th of November, the Committee on Appropriations will meet to consider negotiating mandates on the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill. Then on the 28th of November, we will have a sitting which will deal with motions, as well as the following bills: the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, National Road Traffic Amendment Bill, National Land Transport Amendment Bill, the Economic Regulation of Transport Bill, Correctional Services Amendment Bill, Judicial Matters Amendment Bill. We will then proceed. Then on the 29th of November, we will have committees, the Committee on Transport to consider the final mandate on the expropriation bill, then the Committee on Finance, public hearings on rates and monetary amounts and amendment of Revenue Laws Bill, Taxation Laws Amendment Bill, as well as Tax Administration Laws Bill. We will then proceed to the 30th of November. We will have a sitting at 1400 hours. That will be the annual address by the President of the Republic of South Africa, as well as the debate thereon. Then on the 1st of December, we will have the committees, the Select Committee on Appropriations, public hearings on 2023 MTBPS and 2023 Adjustment Appropriation Bill. Then we will have the Select Committee on Finance that will be briefed by Treasury on the responses for the public hearings on the bills that I have referred to. We will then proceed to the 5th of December. We will have a sitting to consider legislation, if any, reports, if any, as well as a party-sponsored debate. We will then have, on the other side, we have committees. The Committee on Finance will continue to consider the bills that I have already referred to. Then on the 6th of December, the Select Committee on Finance will continue its deliberation on the bills that I have referred to. Then on the 7th of December, we will have a sitting that will deal with motions, reports, as well as consideration of the expropriation bill. Then we'll proceed to the last mile of the marathon, the 8th of December. We will have a sitting to consider the report of the Select Committee on Appropriations on the proposed division of revenue and the conditional grant allocations to provinces and local government, as well as the adjustment appropriation bill. Then the delegates will have an opportunity to bid farewell to each other. That will take us to the constituency period from the 11th of 15th December, and then the leave period from the 18th of December to January. Thank you very much, Acting Chairperson. That takes me to the end of the presentation on the program.
Thanks, Advocate. Quite a mouthful. Before we go into the discussion, let me just request also that you put in the IPU, the General Assembly, the 47th General Assembly. It will be from the 23rd to the 27th of October. And that is missing on the program. I think it should be part of the program. Can we then have engagement from the members on this specific issue? On the program in totality? Can we have engagement? I don't know. I've noticed, Advocate, that there were some of the items that you have changed the dates. For instance, between the 28th and the 29th of is it November or October, where you have changed the business of the day to the day before. For instance, let me just go to that specific issue. Yes, all the issues that is under the plenary of the 29th, you have mentioned that it is going to be on the 28th. So, and I think there was also some one or two other issue areas where you indicated same. And at the current moment, we don't have that amended program. So if you can just also give us clarity with regards to it too. Advocate, can you assist us there?
Okay, teacher, I will look at that. The 29th of?
The 29th November, but all the areas of, particularly the consideration of the legislation, you have then reported it will then take place on the 28th. And I mean, if it is the case, it is not a train smash, but I just think we should have the correct program.
Thank you very much, Acting Chair. I think the Chief Whip will say more on the sittings on Wednesdays. I think the agreement was that the Wednesdays must be freed to enable committees to continue with the consideration of their businesses, in particular the consideration of legislation. I'm sure the Chief Whip can say more on that point, Acting Chair.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Chief Whip. I'm sure you also observe what I have observed. So maybe you can just then give us some clarity on that.
Deputy Chair, I think the advocate is spot on that we said that in our meeting with the chairs and whips that we need to make more time available so that we process legislation. But of course, we caution that we should not be opening Wednesdays, whereas committees can't utilize it in the morning and in the afternoon. But we will really believe that the scale of legislation before us requires more time for committees.
Chief Whip, the program is exactly the way you are now saying, but when the advocate was reporting, so maybe it's just a genuine oversight from his side. He was not reporting same. So it's fine because the program is correct. There is nothing wrong with it. It is showing that we will be having the plenary sessions on Tuesday and Thursday. Then it's fine then, if that is the case. Because I don't see any contradictions there. It's just that when it was reported a bit different. That's why I was raising it. So, but thank you for that clarity. Can we, if there is nothing that members want to add or say, we will then continue. It means that the program as is, let me just close it here. The program as is being accepted. Is it what I should take it?
Indeed, Chairperson. We had discussed
yes.
the program as well.
Yeah.
That is
but
adopted.
But for those of us that were not there, it is to our benefit that it should be indicated as such. I think so. Thank you, Honorable Dangor. Appreciate it. Which means the program is clear. Can we then now give to the House Chairperson or whoever is going to report on Select Committee business? And Honorable Nyambi or Advocate?
Thanks, Acting Chair, Mama. Greetings to you, colleagues, Chief Whip, and everybody present in the meeting. I will do the report, Acting Chair. Committee programs and meetings. We are well underway with the fourth and final term, as correctly presented some of the items by Advocate on behalf of the programming week, with a handful of committee meetings having already materialized since Tuesday. Before that, Acting Chair, we're able as an office to process the various programs of committees, most of which deal with legislation. When it comes to interventions, that will be slides 13 to 17. The Select Committee on COCTA has a combined number of 9 interventions: notice of interventions, progress reports, extension of interventions, withdrawal of interventions in terms of Section 139 and various subsections of the Constitution in various municipalities within 4 provinces, which are as follows. The first one, it's KwaZulu-Natal province with 5 interventions, Gauteng province with 2 interventions. The third one, it's Mpumalanga province with 1 intervention. The last one, it's Western Cape province, also with 1 intervention. Acting Chair, when it comes to petitions and executive undertakings, starting from slide 18 up to 19, the Select Committee on Petitions and Executive Undertakings still has 3 executive undertakings which were made by the following ministers at different times. The first one is the Minister of Transport. The second one is the Minister of Water and Sanitation. The The third one is the Minister of Small Business Development. Additionally, the committee has one petition relating to the state of electricity supply in Mfuleni municipality, which is in Gauteng. Other matters before committees, acting chair, start from slide 20 up to slide 25. There is a slight increase in other matters before slate committee with a combined total of 8, which are as follows. The first one is the slate committee on cooperative governance and regional affairs, has 4 other matters. The second one is the slate committee on finance, which has 1 matter. The third one is the slate committee on security and justice. Also, it has 1 matter. The select committee on land reform, environment, mineral resources, and energy also have 1 other matter. Honorable acting chair, happy to report that the ad hoc joint committee on flood disaster relief and recovery is in the process of undertaking its final oversight visits to Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and Gauteng, and that will lead to the process of concluding its report that will be tabled in both houses. I so table the report. Thank you very much, Mama.
Thank you very much, House Chairperson. Honorable members, is there any engagement with the report? I don't know, whilst members are thinking what they want to add, I was just thinking to ask the House Chairperson, in the light of the floods in the Western Cape, whether there is any plan to expand or extend the mandate of the ad hoc committee with regards to the issues of floods and potential disaster in the Western Cape.
It can be an arrangement of the House chair, but not the resolution of both houses, as that was linked to what was done by the president after declaring the disaster. But looking at what has happened after president has declared the disaster in all the other affected provinces, there's nothing that is stopping whether the House mandating still the ad hoc to go and check what is happening in the Western Cape, or delegating a particular relevant committee so that it can be able to assist and have something that can be presented to the House and make sure that all the relevant stakeholders, as and when our people are affected, were always prompt in terms of our response. Acting chair, and it's a relevant matter. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I was a bit concerned when I realized that you are going to wrap up, and I know that it was not necessarily a part of the mandate of the ad hoc committee, but I just think maybe if it can be processed so that we also know what is the situation in the Western Cape. Thank you. Honorable members, if there is nothing that you want to add or subtract from the report of the House Chairperson, we can then have the agenda point on the bills before Parliament.
Good morning, Deputy Chairperson and colleagues, and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Lungile Mbele, and I'm representing the Bills Office. Deputy Chairperson, we have not had much activity these past few days, but if you look at the report before us, you will see that we have highlighted 5 bills in paragraph A, and the first 4 bills are Section 76 bills. These bills now appear on the National Assembly order paper. Also, Deputy Chairperson, please note that last night we ATC'd the Select Committee on Finance report on the Municipal Fiscal Powers and Functions Amendment Bill. It will now go back to the National Assembly, and this means that the bill will now appear in the NC order paper for consideration of report. Deputy Chairperson, may I bring to our attention that the Bills Office is currently sitting with 3 draft bills that have complied with all the pre-introduction rules. They should be introduced soon, and those bills are the South African Broadcasting Corporation Bill, the Statistics Amendment Bill, and the Public Service Commission Bill. I would also like to mention for your information, Deputy Chairperson, that the President recently signed into law 4 acts and those acts have now been sent to the Constitutional Court for safekeeping. Those are the Traditional Courts Bill, the Land Court Bill, the South African Post Bank Limited Amendment Bill, and the repeal of the Transkeian Code Bill. This was all ATC'd on the 28th of September. And so as things stand, Deputy Chairperson, we have 36 bills under NA committees and 14 under NCOP committees. And of the 42 bills of the Cabinet approved 2023 legislative program, 14 have been introduced. That is all we have from the Bills Office, Deputy Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mbele. So, honorable members, I know this is sometimes mostly for noting, but if there is anyone that want to add or subtract or just want to make an observation, and there is your opportunity. If none, that will bring us to the end of the business of the program committee. And then the only, like the chairperson will say, the only item left on the agenda is closure. Thank you very much to everyone. So we will then see the correct report distributed, or the program distributed as soon as possible. And thank you very much, members. The meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you,
Mama.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mama.
Malibongwe, Deputy Chair.
Malibongwe.
Recording
Malibongwe,
stopped.
Kamala Mukosikazi.